Hello, guys. Welcome back to the NW Sportscast. The Seahawks get blown out on Thursday Night Football. Really not that competitive of a game, Levi. 31-13. What went wrong?
Everything in the most obvious sense of the word. Every single thing went wrong in this game. The defense, the offense, the special teams. It was all a complete nightmare. We were out coached, out schemed, outplayed. We made more mistakes. We committed more penalties. We just
Yeah.
did everything wrong, and they did everything right. And sometimes that's how the games go.
Yeah, this is a frustrating one for sure. Seems like we finally had a little bit of momentum there and then kind of just went away. We didn't
You
score.
can't get outscored. You
Yeah.
cannot get outscored 27-0 in the second and third quarters. You can't.
Yeah. No, I mean it was really, really bad. Seattle, we did not deserve to win this game whatsoever. Turnovers on special teams, turnovers from Geno Smith. Um, really just not good at all. Brock Purdy looked not even that amazing, and they still put up 31 points. It was really the run game that
I mean,
really
Christian
supplemented
McCaffrey,
49ers here. Yeah.
I
Christian McCaffrey
dream
went for
of the day when
114
he's
yards.
not on that team.
Yeah, 114, two touchdowns. Elijah Mitchell also had 39 yards. It seemed that every time we ran the ball for 5, 6, 7 yards, they rarely had any third and long type plays. And it was really tough. On the other end of the ball, Geno Smith
And when they
pressured a
did, they
lot.
just called penalties against us so they could convert anyways.
The refs, I think you were making a bigger deal than they were today.
Maybe. It didn't
I,
it didn't change the game, but it was still annoying.
sure, it was annoying, but I mean, Brent, like Ayuk, their best receiver this year, he wasn't even involved in the game other than that one touchdown reception he had.
Yeah.
And this Niners team still put up 31 points very easily. It could have been a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, self-inflicted wounds. We fumbled a punt that led to a touchdown. We had a very costly third and goal, I believe it was, pass interference call that gave them an extra set of downs. That led to a touchdown. Um, we Geno threw a pick at about the 30-yard line that led to a field goal. So it's just like little things add up like that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, none of that is the reason why we lost the game. The reason we lost is because we didn't score a single offensive touchdown, and we couldn't tackle Christian McCaffrey. Those are the two things that is why we couldn't move the ball, and they could. I mean, it comes down to the simplest of football things. One team ran the ball well, one team didn't. And Zach Charbonnet had a decent game. He came alive at the end, but even still, 14 carries, 47 yards. That's a 3.4 average. Not great. McCaffrey was averaging 6 yards per attempt. Like that's no people don't just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, were there little bright spots? Sure. Jackson Smith and Jigma had the best catch I've seen from any player on our team this season. That
Yeah.
was
That was
amazing.
impressive.
And that was one of the few times that I smiled during this game. DK Metcalf had a couple of solid plays, but he also had a couple of bad drops. Um, like I said, Charbonnet came alive at the end there, and D. Eskridge with his first ever highlight as a Seattle Seahawk, a 60-yard opening drive kick return that, of course, we spoiled it and only could get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, that I mean,
So it didn't turn out to matter that much,
we
but
didn't even
it
really.
is good to see his name being called.
Yeah. We had 13 points, but the offense really only created three of those. 3 points created by D. Eskridge there. The offense did nothing. And then, the pick six. This offense was horrendous. And I know it was going to be rough, but it was rough. The 49ers,
Yeah,
Young and Bosa and all those guys were all over Geno. Geno held onto the ball too long. Smith and Jigba had the most yards out of any wide receiver on the Seahawks, and he had 41. I mean,
yeah,
just no one really took over. It was really, really rough for the Seahawks offense. The defense, the stopping the run was really, really horrendous. The passing game, I would say, kind of fared about how expected, but overall, I mean, it's hard to be super frustrated and mad because I did expect a loss, but I expected it to be a lot closer than this. I really did. This was not good. I mean, we're not even close to this 49ers team,
Yeah, I
Levi.
mean, I at least thought we were gonna play a close game.
I think we all did in the
No, we're
preview.
not. And here's my question for you, Drew. Are we frauds? We're 6-5. We're staring down the Cowboys, who haven't they not only have they not lost at home this year, they have not trailed at home this year. We play them in Dallas, and then we play the Niners on the road, and then come home to face the Eagles and the Steelers, who both have been playing really well lately. So are we frauds? Like, are we gonna win any of these games?
Yeah, we could be 6-9 really quickly.
And at that point, you say when once you're 6-9, that's when you give the ball to Drew Lock, and you're at that point you're playing for a draft pick. So you almost want to lose the last two, but that would be pretty sad to be 6-3 and lose 8 games in a row. Um, Drew, again, I was tweeting, and for the first time, not many people pushed back on this. I said, look, Geno, his shoulder's injured. We're clearly not moving the ball. We're not going to win this game, no matter how much hope that some people might have. Like, it was very clear very early on we weren't going to win. I said, why not just throw out Drew Lock for this game only, just to let Geno get some rest? Like, he's like a lamb to the slaughter out there, man. You can tell he was not 100%. Like, Geno played bad today, and I'm not gonna like rail against him because like I could tell he was in pain the entire game. So at that point, it's like when you clearly don't have a chance and your quarterback is in pain, you might as well just throw out the backup at that point, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because I feel like we did have a chance at this game after that pick six. We had a lot of momentum and then we got a stop. So it was kind of like, no, I would have left Geno Smith out there then. I mean, I don't know. I probably would have left Geno Smith out there, to be honest with you, because
I would have after they got to 31-13, I would have taken him out. And instead, and we saw it. We left him out there, and late in the fourth quarter, when we're down by like 20 something, or I guess down by 18, and Geno takes a pretty brutal looking sack that then he limped off the field afterwards. So it's like that's not really what I want to see.
yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
I mean, it's something to look at, but it's definitely not, I wasn't like yelling at my TV, let's throw in Drew Lock.
I mean, not that I'm yelling, but I feel like at some point, it's almost like we're leaving him out there to die.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're not beating this team in 2 weeks. There's just no way.
No, no, I don't know, man. I think like
I
have we
mean, this was
gotten better
at
since last
Seattle. This
year?
was home. This was home, and we just got absolutely demolished. I mean, this was not close. Not close. This team is nowhere near the 49ers. And if any of you guys think we have a chance at winning the NFC West or even at this point winning a game in the playoffs, I think you're going to be sorely, sorely mistaken when it comes to February. I mean, this team is not that good. I mean, they're just not. The offensive line
Yeah. No,
has
I
now
don't think they are.
the offensive line has not played well in a few games now. The defensive line barely got to Brock Purdy tonight. Didn't really do much against the Rams either. I mean, last week's loss hurts a lot because it puts your team in a position where you feel like you need to win a couple of these next 4 games, and the chances of going 2-2 are not that high. They really aren't. I don't see us beating the 49ers or the Eagles. In the Cowboys, a very slim shot. I don't think
Yeah.
it can happen.
If it was in Seattle, I think we could beat the Cowboys, but they they are one of those teams that like they always play so well in Dallas, and this year like they have not even gone down by 3 points in Dallas. So the chances we win that game is not looking good. Drew, right now, just are the Seahawks making the playoffs?
No, I'm gonna stick to what I
Yeah.
said a few weeks ago. I don't think
The
they are.
yeah.
I
I mean the
think we're going.
Packers are 1 game behind us now, so
I think we're beating the Steelers, and I think we're losing the other 3 games. So I think we're 7-8.
and uh and here's a fact though that might interest you. What are the Seahawks record in games against teams with a winning record this year after tonight?
Are they winless? No, no, 1 win against the Lions.
2-2. We
Two.
have 2 wins So the problem is like the next three all seem very much unlikely. But
Very.
that's the thing. Only two of our five losses are against winning teams. The other three are against the Rams and the Bengals, who are 5-5.
Yeah.
So you wonder about like it just it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. Let's talk about this game a little bit more before we move on the next few weeks here. Levi, anyone stick out to you for the Seahawks for a good performance and then also on the negative side?
The good performance is I'm gonna give it to Jackson Smith and Jigma. Um, he continues to improve. He continues to look a lot better. And the good performance, I have to give it to him. The 49ers have one good player in their secondary, and Tre'Davious Ward was all over the place tonight. So I'm gonna say MVP of that game, Tre'Davious Ward. He looked amazing. And Christian McCaffrey as well. So those are the good performances. Drew, bad performances.
You want me to do the bad performances?
Yeah, I'll give you the bad performances.
Oh, well, my good performance is gonna be I thought Leonard Williams had a nice game tonight.
Okay, yeah.
I thought he made a few good plays, especially when the team needed the most. Bad performance, I'm gonna give it to DJ Dallas. Didn't contribute anything, and then also had that huge fumble. You
Yeah.
cannot do that when you're playing the 49ers, and that's such a huge mistake where you know the 49ers are so much better of a team than you that they're allowed to make a few of those mistakes, and they did tonight. They gave us the pick six. They had a couple of offensive mishaps, etc. But you cannot. I mean, if you want to beat these teams, you cannot do things like that, especially on the special team side of it. That's DJ Dallas's second muff punt of the year. I know it's tough. I know the wind was swirling in Seattle tonight. That punter does a really good job of kind of hanging that punt up there, and the ball kind of just spins on you. But he muffed it and then tried to pick it up and run for it instead of just kind of falling on it, which was I thought even the more frustrating thing. So I'm gonna give it to DJ Dallas. Just can't do it. I could rip on Geno Smith, but yeah. As far as Geno Smith goes,
Shout out to Stone Forsythe for having a terrible game.
yeah,
He was
Forsythe had a terrible
consistently
game.
watching Stone Forsythe is really hard.
Yeah,
Watching the
Peters is a
entire offensive line is really hard, to be honest.
yeah. Did Abraham Lucas play today? I didn't see his name called.
No, no.
Yeah, I'd rather have Jason Peters, the 40-year-old, and then Forsythe right now. Levi, it seems
Well,
like
Jason Peters got injured.
yeah, he did. He limped off the field. It seemed like a hamstring type thing. Levi, if you're the offense, the only time we really seemed to get going was in the hurry up. Do you think we should implement that more often, especially when we're not down by 20 points?
I think we should probably honestly run hurry up offense every single time that we are uh every single time we're on the field offensively. That seems like the only time we ever are actually able to move the ball. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Do you think this game makes it Shane Waldron see any hotter?
Yeah, I mean
The
for
offensive
sure.
scheme, we did not look prepared. That's the other problem. I mean, ultimately, we did have a few solid drives there, especially towards the end, and we kind of were in desperation mode. So if we weren't down by so much, we would have probably kicked a couple more field goals. It would have probably been a little bit more respectable of a final score, but um, the beginning of the game was so bad that by the like it's rough. You have to have an approach to a game like this, and it felt like we didn't have much of an approach. Like Geno's injured, his shoulder is injured. Just because you're down 7-0 doesn't mean you have to throw the ball on second down. You know what I mean? Like you got to
Yeah,
establish a run game. You
yeah,
have to. And Waldron he's all about these little these bubble screens, and they're just not happening right now. So I don't know. I really don't. It's even then at the end of the game, 4th and 1, a little bit of life. You're in the red zone, and what do? You throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and you get tackled for a loss, and that's the end of the game. So Like
Yeah,
it
not good.
it's a struggle.
Yeah, frustrating
All
day.
right, well, should we wrap this thing up?
Yes, yes. Overall frustrating day for the Seahawks. Frustrating day for Seahawks fans. Seem really lost right now. Just don't really know where to go from here.
Final question, Drew. Are we a better team or worse than last season? I
Man,
would say we're worse
right now, I mean, on paper we're better, but we're playing
on
worse.
paper, but I
So
think, and again, like right now, I know it's still kind of early, but we traded for Leonard Williams. We gave up a second round pick, and if we don't make the playoffs, that's pretty clearly right a bad trade, right? Because he's
yeah,
a free
I mean, it's a
agent.
bad trade, but he hasn't been playing bad, so it's kind of
It's a
like it's a catch
but again,
22
like
there.
if you've
So
given up a second round pick for a guy who ultimately isn't giving you the push to the playoffs that you need, and you're going to lose him at the end of the season. So you basically gave up a second round pick essentially for nothing.
yeah, no, it's a bad trade, but it's not. You know what I'm trying to say right now? Leonard Williams isn't playing badly. The team
It's
happened to be
but he
playing
yeah, I
badly
mean
after we
he's
traded
not
for Leonard Williams.
but again, he's not playing badly, but at the same time, since he got here, our ability to stop the run has gotten worse. So I don't know if that I don't
Yeah,
I'm not blaming him, but I'm just saying like it's not like he is elevating the defensive line to be better. Like we're not getting more sacks and we're worse against the run. Maybe that's because we've just been playing better teams though. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say that, but in the end, like he's not playing bad, but he's also not impacting the game in a game changing way
yeah.
that is making this trade seem like a smart decision. Hopefully, you know what? There's still a chance. You know what? He has 4 games. We have 4 games to prove we belong. Right? We did beat the Lions. We did beat the Browns. It's not impossible to beat. I think honestly, this is gonna sound crazy. Out of the next 3 games, you know which game we have the best chance of winning? I think it's in Santa Clara because
No.
the Eagles are. I don't think anyone can beat the Eagles, and I think the Cowboys just because of how dominant they've been this year at home and their defense is so good and our offense is so bad. Like that's such an imbalance. I think honestly the best chance that are gonna have is that Santa Clara game against the 49ers because we've already played them once. We know a little bit more about them.
We are
We're
so
picking
much
up on
worse
some of
than
their
these. We are
schemes.
so much worse than this team.
I agree, but it's in divisional games. The Rams are
No.
so much worse than us, and they beat us twice.
Are they?
Well, I think they are. I don't know.
I don't know. We are so much worse than this 49ers team. I
If the
think the
Rams
best
win
chance
this
we have,
Sunday, they'll be a game
I think the
back.
best chance we have that AT&T Stadium in against
We'll
the Cowboys.
see.
All
We'll
right,
see.
wrap it up. Thanks for watching us, NW Sportscast. If you liked the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what do you think we're at wrong against the Seahawks. Check out our other channel, Coast to Coast Sports. We post content not just related to the Pacific Northwest sports. Check out our Twitter handle, Levi. What is it?
NW Sportscast, baby.
NW Sportscast. Levi's been posting up on there a lot, specifically about the Seahawks, some Mariner stuff too. Um, yeah, if you want to see Levi rage about Geno Smith trade or not, Eugenio
The Geno
Suarez trade,
Suarez.
yeah, go in there, and I think that'll do it. So thank you guys for watching NW Sportscast. See you guys later, and as always, go Hawks.